In the second story of issue 2, we pick up with the Guardians of the Universe with some very interesting artwork. They all seem to be discussing how much they are concerned with the gauntlet found by Keli Quintella, a young teen lantern. They are worried about its similarities to kronas gauntlet since Keli is fused with the gauntlet in ways not even the Guardians can understand. The Guardians trace the energy signature of the gauntlet to the other side of existence, and she requires an escort. However, they didn't just send her out alone, as they worry about her safety given the situation. Keli assumes Kilowog will be her bodyguard, but one of the Guardians says you need to think much bigger. However, Keli is very excited to be a hero as she travels alongside the massive Mogo, the planet-sized Green Lantern. Mogo explains he functions by drawing his power directly from the central power battery and is happy to help her. It turns out they have to travel across an expanse of dead space called the Boots Void. The Boots Void sector is completely devoid of stars and galaxies as well as light. Mogo states going around this void would take around 30 million years. Things begin to get dark as they travel through this dead space. On the first full day of being in the dark sector, in the middle of a conversation with Keli, Mogo screams out in pain. Mogo says something happened to the central battery, and without it... And then he was silenced. Mogo no longer spoke to Keli after that, which only scared her even more deep down. Now simply trying to stay warm in the increasingly freezing temperatures, she speaks to Mogo to make herself feel better even though he can't respond. 12 days have passed by since she's been stuck in the void alone. But hope soon came in the form of something traveling downwards towards Mogo, the planet Mogo. Keli first assumed it was a rescue attempt, but soon found out that the Guardians and Mogo were wrong about nothing existing here in the darkness, in the void. Wicked dark-looking creatures chased Keli around Mogo's surface, one even almost devouring Keli, but a solid blast kept it at bay as she ran away. Alone and in a shit situation, she hides from the monsters now infesting Mogo's surface. Keli begins to doubt herself, saying she wasn't even good enough for a ring, which is why she was pumped she found the gauntlet instead. Deep down, she's afraid of the dark and knows why she would have never gotten a Green Lantern ring. However, Mogo says he would have given her one and breaks his silence. Mogo had found out how to tap into her gauntlet for power to communicate, as her gauntlet also holds a reservoir of willpower in it as well. With a newfound willpower and realizing she needs to save Mogo, she runs out and battles the crazy creatures of the dark, banishing them from the planet. She didn't care what she had to do, even if it was light up the whole dark sector with Mogo and her gauntlet. At 52 days in the void and counting, she waits in the darkness, hoping to make it out of the dark sector. So far, this story seems rather interesting, with the young Keli Lantern with the gauntlet having some sort of having just honestly like an anxiety attack out in this dark sector. I was really surprised by the fact that Mogo went dark after everything, and that's a pretty terrifying thing for the Lanterns, considering he's consistently probably the most powerful out of all of the Lanterns, or at least consistently ranked. So outside of like maybe like the top tier, like Hal Jordan or so. But the fact that they're trying to drag Krona back into things throws a lot of wrenches in this system, to be honest. I'm starting to wonder whether Krona is the person who's been the cause of all of this, because he's somebody who would have the both talent as well as the skill and knowledge to be able to do something on this scale, like on this big of a scale. And she has become a much more relevant, Keli has become a much more relevant character to me as of late, because that gauntlet just happening to show up around her, it sure seems pretty fucking suspect in my opinion. But a great second story with what I'm assuming is going to wind up being a very interesting tale. Next, however, we finally find out what happened to Hal Jordan. Where did Hal Jordan go when the universe fell, when the Green Lanterns went dark? Later.